Fishing is a relaxing pastime that many people enjoy to escape the stresses of daily life and occasionally experience a heart-pounding surprise. These wild and unexpected moments captured on film are enough to make anyone jump out of their seat. Here are the 15 most shocking fishing moments in the world. Number 15. Sewer fish. Who knew you could fish in a sewer? The fish whisperer does. A Texas teen turned urban fisherman passes his time catching fish in the craziest way possible, his neighborhood's sewer system. The latest video features the teen reeling in a large fish from a stormwater drain. He baited a hook with some hot dog or fish pieces, then left the line overnight with a cork on the end to hold it in place. The next day he went to check, and he can be seen reeling in the line, then laying down and reaching into the drain. Astonishingly, he pulls a wriggling fish from the hook and displays it to the camera. It's just one of his many catches from the drainage system in the area, which he estimates number about 200. Sewer fishing in the suburbs might be considered a new trend. Whether it's a new trend or a reinvention, fishing in the gutter is catching on. He's caught catfish, perch, and bass using his hands and even his mouth, as he's even lured a turtle in this fashion. Fishermen often travel to great lengths to catch a prized fish, but as is often the case, we tend to ignore what's right in our backyards. Your local storm drain could be the source of your next big catch. Number 14. Indoor fishing. If you suggested indoor fishing to a typical fisherman, they'd probably think you were nuts. But think about it, there are very good reasons to move your fishing skills inside. The first bonus? Anything that gives the tradition of fishing a boost has to be welcomed. This certainly does that by getting people fishing who may not at first be interested in dangling bait in the cold. Secondly, visitors to a center like this get a rundown on aquatic life, fish breeding, fauna, and lots of other outdoor things that affect fishing, and that's something many anglers will have a blind spot to. Thirdly, if any of those who land a fish indoors catch the fishing bug, they'll swell angling ranks and also give a boost to the tackle trade along the way. Pretty cool, right? But there has to be a downside. The first reaction to this unusual angling is that fishing is not an indoor pastime. Regular fishing is about getting on the bank, reading natural surroundings, enjoying birds and wildlife, and the fresh air. But hey, nothing is perfect. This offers a safe environment in a beautiful, tranquil setting, creating a relaxing and therapeutic environment for people of all skills or disabilities to re-engage with the natural world and maybe make some fisherman friends. Number 13. Fire fishing. Taiwan is home to many intriguing local customs and traditions, but none capture the imagination quite as much as fire fishing. For hundreds of years, fishermen in Taiwan have been catching sardines with the help of fiery sticks. The fish are so attracted to the light that they jump out of the water and into the nets of the fishermen. For 3 months of the year, local fishermen spend up to 6 hours each night playing with fire. Using a mix of chemicals, they light fires at the end of bamboo sticks, enabling them to attract sardines in their thousands. The number of boats using the traditional fire fishing method in Taiwan has fallen, though the remaining fishermen have a seasonal window from May to July when they can catch sardines using fire, a practice that dates back hundreds of years. It's as simple as it is mesmerizing. Fishing boats head out to sea during the night and light up a bamboo stick covered with sulfuric soil at one end to create the bright flame. The sulfur dissolves in the water, and the gas produced then flashes with fire. Drawn to the light spectacle, sardines jump out of the water by the hundreds at a time and end up in the fishermen's nets. A good night of fishing might yield a haul of 3 to 4 tons of sardines for each boat. Number 12. Buddhist lobster liberation. Hundreds of lobsters avoided being boiled alive thanks to a group of Buddhist monks from Prince Edward Island. The monks bought the lobsters, 600 pounds worth of them, solely with the intention of returning them to their rightful home in the ocean. Before taking them back onto the sea, the monks held a ceremony where they prayed and chanted to the Buddha of compassion. Before the release, they also blessed the lobsters with purified water and later gently removed the bands that bound their claws. For the monks, the effort was an incredibly thoughtful approach toward raising awareness about other beings and how precious their lives are. By showing just how easy it could be to be compassionate, they might not have made a direct call for change, but their actions made it virtually impossible not to reconsider how our behavior is affecting individual animals and entire other species who continue to be used for food, clothing, and entertainment, especially for species like lobsters who aren't all cute and fluffy. A spokesman for the monks who were involved in the mission told reporters that the purpose of the effort was to cultivate compassion for all living beings. Number 11. Tiny fish. Sometimes bigger isn't better. Microfishing is essentially fishing for smaller microfish. What exactly counts as a microfish is up for debate. Some may say it's anything smaller than a panfish. Others might say it's any fish of a certain length. For our purposes, let's just say that microfishing means targeting fish that are too small to be reliably pursued with what might be called standard fishing tackle. It has its origins in an old Japanese tradition where anglers would enjoy fishing for micro-sized fish called bitterling, known as tanago in Japan. Modern microfishers often use hooks so tiny they can barely be seen without a magnifying glass, and lines as thin as a strand of hair. The thrill comes not from the size of the catch, but from the patience and precision required to land these elusive little creatures. Some enthusiasts keep detailed journals, recording every species they encounter, turning each outing into a scientific adventure. There are even online communities where people share photos of their smallest catches, swapping tips and stories from around the world. For many, the joy is in the details, the delicate colors, the surprising variety, and the satisfaction of mastering a subtle art. It's a hobby that rewards curiosity and a gentle touch, rather than brute strength. This ancient pastime is now practiced and kept alive by modern anglers as a way to learn the traditions of their ancestors and to reconnect with nature. There seems to be a notion among anglers that fishing for small fish is easy, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Very often, targeting a smaller fish is more difficult, and you can learn something too. These multi-species anglers enjoy the challenge of catching new species and learning about native fish diversity. It's a great way to challenge yourself, learn about the wild fish living in your local watersheds, and even just relax and enjoy being in nature. See, size doesn't matter in the art of fishing. Now it's time for today's topic. In a bizarre and shocking discovery, a fisherman off the coast of Brazil pulled up what many are calling a hybrid sea creature that defies explanation. The unusual animal, which became tangled in the fisherman's net while he was fishing for tuna, has left locals and scientists stunned. With its seal-like body, 2 heads, and gaping mouths filled with sharp teeth, the creature looks like something out of a science fiction movie. The fisherman, initially terrified, managed to haul the creature onto his small boat and took photos before releasing it back into the water. The images quickly went viral, sparking heated debates online. Some believe the creature is the result of secret experiments by scientists, claiming it could be a hybrid animal created in a lab and released into the ocean. Others argue that the mutation could be due to radiation or pollution, pointing to the increasing number of strange marine life sightings in recent years. Marine biologists are analyzing the photos but have yet to provide a definitive explanation. For now, the creature remains a mystery, fueling speculation about what else might be lurking in the depths of our oceans. Is this a man-made experiment gone wrong, or a natural mutation caused by environmental changes? Number 10. Painted fish. Is this the sequel to the psychedelic movie Avatar, or what? Images of this vibrantly colored fish, that looks too flashy to be real, have gone viral, prompting many to ask if it was the result of too much digital editing. A flashy fish that almost looked painted. Are fish supposed to even look like this? Turns out, yes. The painted-looking fish is apparently known as a cannubella in Japan and surge wrasse in the Western world. The footage shows the alien-looking fish in all its splendor, leaving many viewers with their mouths wide open at the thought that such a creature actually exists. Some people have even speculated that the fish was a clever art project, or perhaps a new species created in a secret lab. Others joked that it must have swum through a rainbow or fallen into a bucket of neon paint. Marine biologists, however, were quick to confirm its authenticity, sharing their own photos and stories of encountering the surge wrasse in the wild. Underwater photographers dream of capturing its electric blues and radiant oranges, but the fish is notoriously quick and shy. Its scales shimmer and shift in the sunlight, making it look different from every angle. For divers, spotting one is like finding a living jewel among the coral. Ever since the original images of the fish were posted, it's received hundreds of thousands of likes and retweets. People just can't get over how alien it looks, with many claiming that it belongs in the James Cameron movie. The surge wrasse, as its name suggests, is found in the surge zone of outer reef flats and on the reef margins of coral and rocky reefs. It's normally found in depths of less than 33 feet. It lives in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, where it inhabits reefs and rocky coastlines. Despite its toxic-looking color, the surge wrasse is edible, although it's of minor importance to commercial fisheries and more valuable as an aquarium fish. Number 9. Man swallows fish. This is not your average day fishing or an average day as a doctor. A man had a 7-inch-long fish removed from his throat after suffering a freak fishing accident. The 24-year-old angler from Colombia in South America was fishing for food for his family. After having a successful first catch, he threw the fishing line back into the water and soon realized another fish had bitten his bait. Not knowing what to do, the man decided to keep the first catch in his mouth while he reeled in the second one. However, the moment he placed the fish in his mouth, it moved to try and free itself and ended up lodged in the young man's throat. Panic must have set in as he struggled to breathe, his friends on the riverbank likely shouting in alarm. The fish, still alive, thrashed and wriggled, making the situation even more dire. In a desperate bid for air, the man stumbled to his car and sped to the nearest hospital, clutching his throat. The emergency room staff, used to all sorts of bizarre injuries, were still taken aback by this slippery predicament. Nurses rushed to prepare the necessary tools, while a doctor quickly assessed the X-ray, shaking his head in disbelief. The story spread through the hospital corridors, with staff whispering about the man who swallowed a fish long after the ordeal was over. Whoops, he admitted himself to the hospital and, for obvious reasons, was unable to explain the situation. The medical staff conducted an X-ray inspection and realized he was choking on a fish. It wasn't a pretty picture. Grim video shows the quick medical procedure as the medical staff examines the foreign object with a pair of forceps. Seconds later, he pulls out a bloodied fish covered in saliva. The fisherman was kept in the hospital over the weekend to remain under observation, but there had been no reports of him suffering serious injury. Number 8. Mongolian Fishing Festival. If you want to catch some fish, make a festival of it. That's exactly what they did in Mongolia a long time ago. Chagan Lake is the only place in which the oldest of Mongolian fishing methods is preserved. The lake set a Guinness World Record of a single net that yielded 230,400 pounds of fish in 2006 and broke its own record with 371,500 pounds of fish in 2009. Fishermen first drill many holes through the thick ice and then use these holes to carefully position a mile-long net under the ice. This net and its catch are then hauled out of the largest hole. The entire process is a spectacle, drawing crowds who gather to witness the ancient ritual. Horses are sometimes used to help pull the massive net, their breath steaming in the frigid air as drums beat in the background. The excitement builds as the net emerges, heavy with shimmering fish, and cheers erupt from the crowd. Vendors sell hot food and local crafts, turning the icy lakeshore into a bustling winter market. Children dart between the adults, their laughter echoing across the frozen expanse. For many, it's not just about the fish, but about reconnecting with heritage and community. This lake is the best place to do it. The name Chagan is from Mongolian, meaning sacred, pure, or white, so the lake is often referred to as the Sacred Lake or Holy Water Lake by local people. The lake is known as one of China's top 10 freshwater lakes and is known for this traditional winter fishing that dates back to prehistoric times. On the first day of the festival, the locals hold an interesting ceremony. They perform a religious dance, read Buddhist scriptures, sing eulogies, drink wine, and so on. The fishermen place many articles of tribute on the ice to pray for a good harvest of fish. The annual Winter Fishing Festival is held to keep this ancient tradition alive. Number 7. Fish with claws. Behold, the fish crab, a hybrid of two different species. In biology, a hybrid is the offspring resulting from combining the qualities of two organisms of different breeds, varieties, or species. At first viewing of this unusual video, most of us might be thinking that fish have claws like a crab. But when you get a closer look, your second thought might be, fish are not supposed to have pincers like a crab. That observation brings about the other possibility. What if an unknown hybrid species actually did exist? Or is this boat in some sort of fishing twilight zone where life as we know it is a little twisted, and this fish crab has no time for this person with the paddle? Imagine the confusion of marine biologists if such a creature washed up on shore, defying every classification chart. Would it swim sideways, or scuttle with the grace of a crab beneath the waves? Perhaps it would become the stuff of local legend, a cryptid whispered about by fishermen at dusk. The internet would explode with theories, memes, and blurry screenshots, each more outlandish than the last. Maybe a documentary crew would set out to find more, only to return with tales of even stranger sea life. In a world where nature sometimes surprises us, the line between fact and fiction can blur in the most unexpected ways. It almost looks as if the fish is just holding these legs like a weapon. Hybrids are not always a mix between their parents. In genetics, attention is focused on the number of chromosomes. In taxonomy, a key question is how closely related the parent species are. Whatever gave birth to this bizarre mashup is clearly not compatible, and a mix and match like this may threaten many species with extinction. Let's hope it's just some sort of weird viral prank where humans have fastened some crab legs to a frustrated fish. That would be cruel for the sake of some likes. Number 6. Piranha Haul. The roots of piranha go all the way back to 25 million years ago, with the modern piranha, the one we know today, having been around for nearly 2 million years. They're relatively small in size, ranging on average from 5 to 14 inches. The reputation as a predator makes them one of the most feared fish in the world. Despite their fearsome image, local fishermen have developed clever techniques to avoid getting bitten, such as using long sticks or metal hooks to handle their catch. In some regions, piranha teeth are even used as tools or souvenirs, prized for their sharpness and unique appearance. The thrill of piranha fishing comes not just from the catch, but from the adrenaline rush of pulling a snapping, thrashing fish from the water. Some anglers tell stories of entire schools attacking bait at once, turning the water into a frenzy of splashes and flashing silver bodies. For the brave, There are even piranha fishing tours where visitors can try their luck under the watchful eye of experienced guides. The taste of piranha is said to be surprisingly mild, and locals often grill or fry the fish for a traditional meal. But believe it or not, piranha are actually also a dish you can eat. Piranha are an important source of food in the wetlands of Brazil, and it's actually a practical way of catching them because their teeth can destroy fishermen's nets, and they're risky to extract when tangled. Using just a piece of meat, this fishing fiend is going to have a piranha feast. Just look at how many of these little devils he's hauling in. Piranha are freshwater fish infamous for their very sharp, triangular-shaped teeth and strong jaws that produce a forceful bite. Have you ever seen a scary movie of the same name? Not only are they a popular sight to see while traversing around the Amazon, but piranha fishing is a well-liked activity to do as well. They can be found in multiple places in South America. Tropical rivers and streams are liked by piranha, and your best bet to find one is in murky or muddy waters, if you dare. Number 5. Gotta catch 'em all. This is another great way to make fishing fun, especially because this lake in Africa is a rarity in a country comprised mostly of the Sahara Desert, which undoubtedly lends itself to its importance and sacredness. Once a year, locals rush the sacred Ntogo Lake in Mali, West Africa, armed with baskets, feverishly hoping for a big catch. Fishermen file into the lake to grab whatever they can during the short-lived Ntogo fishing frenzy during the dry season here. The excitement in the air is palpable, with drummers and singers adding to the festival's lively atmosphere. Children dart along the shoreline, cheering on their fathers and brothers as they wade into the muddy water. The event is not just about fishing. It's a celebration of community, tradition, and the bounty of nature in a place where water is precious. Some families have participated in the festival for generations, passing down stories of legendary catches and near misses. The anticipation builds all year, and when the day finally arrives, everyone comes together in a spirit of friendly competition and shared joy. Even visitors from neighboring villages travel miles to witness the spectacle and join in the festivities. Legend has it that a young woman discovered the lake and its miraculous fish, which started the surge of ritual fishing in the desert pool. People crowd around the lake, young and old, armed with cone-shaped fishing baskets and other handmade tools to catch the fish. All of a sudden, 400 bare-chested men jump wildly into the lake, grabbing whatever they can. About 15 minutes later, a gunshot marks the end of the ritual. Although the lake is sacred, within minutes, the Dogon fishermen empty the lake of all its inhabitants. But as you can see, the fish are easily caught in the shrunken lake. Regardless, the Ntogo festival is a spectacle like no other. All fish captured are put into a leather bag and given to the oldest wise man in the community, who will ensure proper distribution among all villages. Number 4. Skateboard fisherman. Some things are just too insane to be explained by science, and what you're about to see is one of them. A shaggy, topless skateboarder from Montreal, Canada, has wowed thousands of people with a ridiculous stunt that ends with something astonishing: catching a big, juicy fish. Not bad, right? First, he jumps up onto a rail with his board, but gravity soon takes over, and he slides toward the water with a great big splash. He crashes beneath the waves. Onlookers at the scene can be heard laughing and cheering, not quite believing what they just witnessed. Some even had their phones out, capturing every second of the wild ride, which only added to the viral sensation. The skateboarder's friends later revealed that this wasn't his first attempt. He had practiced the stunt several times, perfecting his timing to make sure he could grab a fish on the way out. The fish itself put up a fight, thrashing in his hands as he tried to keep his balance in the water. It's not every day you see someone combine extreme sports with fishing, but this guy managed to pull it off with style. The stunt has inspired others to try their own creative fishing methods, though few have matched the sheer spectacle of this moment. It all looks like a little wet and wild fun on a sunny, hot day. But wait, he doesn't emerge from the water depressed, deflated, or annoyed, as one would expect. He pops his head up, holding a massive, flailing, flopping fish 3 feet long. The most popular species caught in this part of Canada are smallmouth bass, northern pike, and walleye. Local regulations govern when you can fish, the max size of the fish you can keep, how many fish you can keep, and more. But all the skateboarder needed was some railing abilities, his bare hands, and to catch dinner. And there's no way he could get run over by a car fishing like this. Now, being run over by a boat, that's another story. Needless to say, this video of skateboard fishing glory went viral. This guy seems really stoked about his unusual abilities. Number 3. Noodling surprise. For a fishing line and some bait, you don't even need a boat to catch the big one. Noodling is fishing for catfish using one's bare hands and is practiced primarily in the southern United States. The noodler places their hand inside a discovered catfish hole in order to catch the fish. The term noodling, although today used primarily toward the capture of flathead catfish, can and has been applied to all hand fishing methods, regardless of the method or species of fish sought. The origin of the term is unknown. Some seasoned noodlers wear gloves to protect their hands from sharp rocks or the powerful bite of a big catfish, while others prefer to go barehanded for the full thrill. The excitement comes not just from the catch, but from the suspense of what might be lurking in the dark, muddy hole. Sometimes it's a snapping turtle or even a snake instead of a fish. Many enthusiasts describe the adrenaline rush as unlike anything else in fishing, with stories of epic battles and surprise encounters passed down through generations. Local festivals and competitions have sprung up around noodling, drawing crowds eager to watch brave anglers plunge their arms into the unknown. The camaraderie among noodlers is strong, with newcomers often mentored by experienced veterans who share tips and tales. For some, it's a rite of passage and a way to connect with the traditions of their region. Like in this TikTok video, most noodlers have spotters who help them bring the catfish in, either to shore or to their boat. Of course, noodling in pairs is considered important for safety and also makes it more of a social activity, with noodling partners often forming long-term partnerships. Although the concept of catching fish with only the use of the arm in the water is simple, the process of noodling is more complicated. To begin, a noodler goes underwater and places their hand inside a discovered catfish hole. If all goes as planned, the catfish will swim forward and latch onto the fisherman's hand, usually as a defensive maneuver in order to try to escape the hole. Due to concerns over the safety of the noodlers and the sustainability of fish populations, the technique is illegal in some states. Number 2. Snobbier. Long gone are the days of freezing your behind around a hole on the ice or hauling a fish cabin onto a frozen lake. This is the ultimate all-in-one snow fishing vehicle that every ice fisherman needs. A snobbier is an ice fishing machine. It traverses over snow-covered lakes where many other vehicles would not be able to go. The design is so efficient that you can bring along friends or family, turning a solitary activity into a cozy group adventure. Some snobbier owners even customize their interiors with mini kitchens or entertainment systems, making the wait for a bite more enjoyable than ever. The panoramic windows offer stunning views of the frozen landscape, so you never miss the beauty of a sunrise or the sight of wildlife crossing the ice. For those who love gadgets, there are options to install advanced sonar and underwater cameras, giving you a high-tech edge in finding the best fishing spots. Heated floors keep your feet warm, and built-in storage means you can pack all your gear without clutter. It's not just about catching fish, it's about enjoying the whole experience in comfort and style. Once a fishing location is chosen, all the operator has to do is lift the lid on one of the several portholes in the floor, drill a hole through the ice below, and then use the vehicle's hydraulic system to lower the snobbier onto the ice. If a chosen fishing spot isn't producing as well as an ice fisherman would like, the solution is simple with a snobbier. Just pull up the fishing lines, close the portholes, and move to another location. Within minutes, ice anglers can be fishing a new spot. And as many ice fishermen know, mobility can be the key to keeping up with schools of fish. It's instant ice fishing and a mobile comfort. Electronics showing what's happening under the ice are located on the dash or any other place a snobbier owner would choose. Padded chairs can be moved from one location to another. This is a fully enclosed and heated ice fishing machine that gets you from fishing hole to fishing hole with ease and comfort. Number 1. Grass fishing. It's amazing how many ways you can catch fish, but we didn't see this coming. You can actually fish in some grassy areas around the world. As you can see, this fisherman actually carves out some muddy holes, and the pits literally act as a trap for grass carp. Sometimes, the grass is so thick that you'd never guess there are fish hiding just beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. The process can get messy, with mud splattering everywhere and the fisherman knee-deep in water and weeds, but that's all part of the adventure. In some places, locals have even turned grass fishing into a friendly competition, seeing who can pull out the biggest carp from the most unlikely patch of greenery. It's not uncommon for onlookers to gather and cheer as each fish is revealed, adding a festive atmosphere to the muddy scene. The thrill comes not just from the catch, but from the surprise of what might be lurking in the next hole. Sometimes you'll even find other creatures, like frogs or turtles, sharing the same hiding spots as the carp. They can grow large and are strong fighters on a rod and reel, but because of their vegetarian habits, they can be difficult to catch. But after wiping away some excess grass, this guy has quite a few fishy friends to take home. Grass carp have been introduced to many countries around the world. They're known to have spawned and established self-producing populations in only 6 of the many larger northern hemisphere rivers into which they've been stocked. Their failure to establish populations in other rivers suggests they have quite specific reproductive requirements. They appear to be doing fine wherever this person is catching them. In the United States, the species was first imported in 1963 from Taiwan and Malaysia to aquaculture facilities in Alabama and Arkansas, but the first release is believed to have been an accidental escape in 1966. But hey, if they're swimming through your front lawn or your backyard, you might as well catch them. No boat or beach required. Fishing is a fun and fantastic way to spend your time, and it turns out there are countless ways to enjoy the sport, some of them a bit crazier than others, which only adds to the excitement. That's what makes fishing so interesting. So stick around because there are plenty more great videos where that came from.